Hey, you found a super secret video where I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind because I experienced it yesterday and just now today, and I know I'm not the only one who's experienced it because we're all human. Today I wanted to talk about feeling quote-unquote wrong emotions. You know, things that you feel guilty for feeling, things that you don't feel like are justified, but you still feel them regardless. Now, I struggled with this for a long time. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably have too. It's confusing, it's annoying, it's kind of infuriating, but it's gonna happen anyway, because at the end of the day, we're all human, and we all have emotions. And something that I think that a lot of people need to know is that you're not wrong for feeling emotions that you do, no matter what they are. The wrong or right part of it are the things that you do as a result of those emotions, right? So if I'm feeling bad a certain day and someone keeps bothering me and I get angry about it, I'm not wrong for being angry, even if it's kind of unjustified. What makes me wrong is if I snap or something like that at them and just go off on them and all this stuff. I think a lot of people are pretty emotionally stunted. A lot of people don't know exactly what they're feeling all the time, or they don't know how to describe it, or they don't know how to process it. Many people are pretty bad at processing their emotions. It's something that I've learned. It's something that most people could improve upon. So if you feel guilty for feeling something, try not to let it get to you, because at the end of the day, you're not wrong for that. Just try to think before you act and be rational about things. I'll give you an example. So for me, last night, I was gonna play a game with a friend. Now, I hadn't spoken to him for weeks. I had messaged him and stuff, but we hadn't properly spoken in a while. And he was super busy. He seemed really down. I just wanted to play a game with him, relax, hopefully make him feel better. And I had been waiting for it for weeks, like I said. And then 20 minutes into us playing a game, he said that he had to go emotionally support someone and just left for 3 hours. And of course, even at the time, logically, I agreed with him. If someone needs his help, he should go to them. We could play games another time. But because of how long I had been waiting and how little time we got together, I just got so upset. It just bothered me so much because we barely got any time together, and then he kind of left to go talk to someone else. And the emotional side of my brain registered that as him ditching me, which obviously, isn't the case, but that's how I felt regardless. But instead of getting upset at him or anything, I waited patiently for him to come back, and I tried to focus on other things. I tried to talk to someone else about how I was feeling to help get it off my chest, and tried to process through it. And then by the time he was able to play again, I was feeling better and we had a good time. Things like this just are gonna happen. There's no way to avoid it. At some point, you're going to feel something that you don't logically agree with. But at the end of the day, it's okay. Your emotions, no matter how irrational, don't make you wrong. What really matters at the end of the day are your actions. And that's another thing. People often think that they're wrong for their thoughts. The thing is, your thoughts are thoughts. You can't always control what your brain is thinking, especially for people like me who have had religious troubles or are neurodivergent, so my brain works differently. It can be really hard to not feel bad for some of the things you think. I have OCD, so I have intrusive thoughts, things regarding not only anxiety, but violent things. It's quite bad, and I feel really bad for it. And I have for a few years. But something I've learned is that your thoughts don't make you wrong, and everyone has similar thoughts. Not everyone has the same thoughts. Not everyone's thoughts are to the same level of being messed up, but just because you think something doesn't make you wrong for it. It doesn't mean that you did it, especially if it's not a conscious thought that took effort to make. If it's just something that your brain spits out, it's fine. Just don't give it the attention that it wants, and try not to beat yourself up over it. So try not to beat yourself up over emotions and thoughts. They're a part of your brain that you can't really control at the end of the day. People often compare AIs to human brains, or brains to computers. When you're thinking through things and when your brain's working, we use the same word for when a computer's working and when it's thinking through things, processing. But they aren't the same. Your brain isn't a computer. You are not a computer. Your brain is this weird enigma of fat nerves and electricity. So of course it doesn't think rationally. Every human by nature is part intelligence, part just raw survival instincts and emotions. So you're not always going to be thinking rationally, and your brain isn't always going to be giving you thoughts that make sense or that you agree with. Your job as the conscious part of the brain is to manage your actions and yourself and to not beat yourself up over things. To know that that's not on you and that you're not wrong for that. And to give yourself grace and understand that. And to do that for other people as well. When someone else loses control and snaps because they're just having a rough day, despite how bad that makes you feel, trying not to be unfair to them is very important. That's all I really wanted to talk about. Alright, I love you guys. Have a good day, or a good night, or a good evening, or a good fucking